Good afternoon again, guys. Welcome back. So I'm going to talk about some important information here. This is slightly different than what we've been talking about before, but some overlap. I just want to keep these things really short. So let's see what we can do with this. We'll go ahead and share my screen again. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is the grade book. Okay, so we have grades for all kinds of things that we're going to be doing. One of those things is homework. That's 20% of your final grade. These are all the homework activities that you have. All of those are in ALEKS, and I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. You'll have your classroom tests. That's 35% of your grade. There are 3 tests, one of which will be dropped. The lowest one is dropped. There's a final exam. That is 20% of your grade. The virtual labs, all of which are done in ALEKS, that's 12% of your grade. The post labs, which are all quizzes in ALEKS as well, we'll talk about that again later, 7% of your grade. There are lecture quizzes, which is 1% of your grade, and I will talk about those a little bit later and when I talk about the lecture part. And then we'll have the discussions, and I'll talk about this in detail a little bit later. This is 5% of your grade. So those are the things that count towards your grade. Okay, and that can be seen in the grades section. This is what it would look like for an individual for you guys if you were to come in here. So you'll see the points, the actual points that you got out of how many points, and then you'll see a weighted average based on that percentage that it is. And then you'll see a grade that goes with that. Okay, so that's your grades. Awesome. The next thing I really want to show you is the exam handouts. And why do I need to show you the exam handouts? Because they're really important. Now, it says exam handouts. That implies that these are handouts that you should have available to you when you're taking the exam. That is the expectation. I'm expecting that you will print these pages and have them with you when you take the test. Now, to guide you into using it for an exam, it is my recommendation that you print them and that you use them for any practice that you do for me. So nothing you do in ALEKS, because we'll talk about why, but the stuff that you do for me. Okay, so this set of exam handouts will be available to you. I'm actually going to upload a slightly different version a little later today that has the valence shell electron pair repulsion things on it, because it didn't make it into this version, so I'll change that version out. But that's what you'll be looking at for those. So we need to make sure that you know where they are, that you know that you're supposed to print them, and that you know that you're supposed to be able to use them on the test. And you will get asked to show each page because we don't want anything written on it when you take the test. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I apologize, I need my notes. Again, there is lab. Let me talk about the stuff in D12 first. So you'll see that's not what I wanted. In the quizzes, this is what I wanted. There are lecture quizzes. Again, these quizzes are meant to be taken in the lecture number that's listed. So lecture 2 quiz is for lecture 2. That quiz is designed to ask you about the topics for lecture 2 and then to do some review from lecture 1. Now, these questions are almost always found in the PowerPoints for that particular lecture. So if we're looking at the lecture 2 quiz, if you were to come into content, which you can't see as a student right now, so let me close that out and show you exam 1. We look at lecture 2. This is where did the PowerPoints go? Oh, for the love of God, I thought I just fixed this. Sorry, the PowerPoint should be there. Let me show you the one. Some of them are here. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna be taking care of that because I thought I'd already fixed this today, but apparently I haven't. So I'll be taking care of this. And I'm gonna change all of the names for things, and so in each one you're going to see one that says PPT and then the lecture number that goes with, and then lecture or recording and the lecture number that it goes with, and then practice lecture number, practice answers lecture number, and in class practice, and then the lecture number. But if you look at these, you'll see that there are review questions that are here. And these are typically the review questions that I'll be asking about on the quiz. Now you have time to take those quizzes. I believe that each one is open for 2 days, but let me verify that. So this opens on June 23rd. No, sorry, not that one. This opens on May 31st, which is the day that we do lecture 1. And it's open until June 6th. Alexa, stop. Computer, stop. Sorry, had a timer, I forgot. So that's when you'll have those quizzes available. Now, that's important. I'll talk about the lab stuff in just a second. I'm just going to briefly show you where the discussions are. There are 4 of them. You'll see that they're listed in these assignments. They're actually not listed. That's right. I took them out. So there are discussions that are here. We'll talk about these in detail a little bit later because this is something new that we're doing this summer. It's not been done previously. You have your exams. Your exams will be found under the quizzes, and they will be open for a 2-day window. So June 23rd to June 25th. Okay. You'll see that there's a condition that goes with them. That's what this little thing means. And you won't see that, but I will. That means you have to have taken the Lockdown Browser and Respondus Monitor test before you can even see that those exams exist. Okay. The other thing is you won't be able to see the answer keys for these unless you've taken the tests. Okay. It's not something that I'm going to show to you if you haven't taken those tests. Then there's the ALEKS stuff. So let's go talk about ALEKS a little bit, not in detail, but just a little bit. So what you'll find in doing this is that there are assignments. And I actually want to look at this. I apologize. I need to go home. I already had this in student view, but it stopped, so I apologize. As I mentioned previously, we can go in and look at our assignments list. We can view all, so that way we can see everything that's going to be due. And you can filter this. Now, there are a couple of things that you'll be able to filter it for. There's homework. That will show you all of the homework that is due. And then you'll see the dates that they're officially due. This date that they're officially due on is a couple of days before each exam. So that way you should be done with all your homework before you take that exam. Yes, that's the way that's supposed to work. But again, there are recommended due dates that I've given you in the schedule that you should try to adhere to. All right. Now, homework is unlimited attempts. You can do it as many times as you need to. When we talk about the virtual labs, see that each one of these has a due date. Some of them are due on the same day. They are. The first 4 are actually due the same day. It's about a week after they are assigned. And these are unlimited temps as well. I will talk in more detail about the labs and the post labs, but I just wanted to show you where all of these things were. And the other thing is the post labs are listed as quizzes. And those post labs, you'll see that you have 2 attempts for each one. All right. You're given a time limit for each of those, and I need to verify the time limits. Should get an hour and a half for each one. These are open note, open book, whatever. And we'll talk about that in more detail when we talk about the lab. So those are the things that you need to be aware of in terms of the important information. That's the most important stuff. So I hope that covers all of that. Like I said, I will have a discussion or a recording about each of the components in more detail to walk you through what we're going to be talking about. So there is that too. So I guess I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much.